So I guess for me on the Lakers, my thought would be it's so early in the season. I mean, it's so tough to tell. LeBron ramps it up, and I mean, there's no reason for him to be playing at anytime, anything at full capacity now that now he's really old as he is, LeBron. But he's gonna ramp it up, and this team's gonna be way different and better by the time the playoffs come around. But where does this team stack up now against the team that won a championship? It was like a few weeks ago.
I think they're better. They're better than last year. They have more potential coming off the bench.
Because you're worried about losing Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee and what that would do, for the style which they play, where they play big. I mean, what do you think about the roster the way it looks now compared to what it looked like?
I think, this is something Jerry West used to say, when you win a championship, you can't stand pat because other teams around you are getting better. So you must make moves. Is it one or two moves? Jerry always made one dynamic move for us, and then he would come in with another move just to change things up. Okay, took a disgruntled player or somebody that wasn't going to work hard. You brought in a young kid with potential. In this case here, Rob, Jeannie, and Linda Rambis brought in a slew of players. They brought in 4 good players. So the Lakers bench is as deep as anybody else up until the Brooklyn made the trade, because Brooklyn had a very good bench back there. But now with the trade and obviously the injury to Dinwiddie.
Yeah, Dinwiddie.
That really had taken it off. But the Lakers now have a bench, and it gives Coach Vogel options to play with. Now, he doesn't counter what other teams do. He does it first and make them counter to him. And that's what I like about this Laker team. Yeah, we still wanted that height, but as long as you got LeBron and AD, and I think Gasol is another good piece that they picked up. He brings you some girth under there, another big body that the officials will let play. They wouldn't let Dwight Howard play. They call fouls on him. Well, they let Gasol play. I think the Lakers stand, that's hard to beat. And when you play those 3 players at the same time, you get that same effect when Dwight Howard was out there with AD and LeBron.
Gasol's an interesting piece too, and you expect maybe that he gets more minutes potentially in the playoffs. Another older guy that maybe you unleash in the playoffs is a guy that can be, just spread the floor, let AD and LeBron attack the rim, and you surround with 35 to 40% 3-point shooters. There's just no way to defend that. There's just no way to defend that
at all. Well, you know what? It's almost that thing. You have to pick your poison.
Right.
Lakers, you let them get to the basket. And if I were a team, I'm going to take my chances on the Lakers shooting threes. You have to beat me from the 3-point line, because I'm not going to let AD get down there. If LeBron's down there, I'm double teaming him, and we'll just work our way. And hopefully our defense is fleet of foot to get to that weak side, because when they start swinging the ball. But that is what you have to do when you have to play the Lakers. You have to pick your poison. What are you going to give up tonight? And a lot of teams are trying to defend the low post and get out to 3-point shooters. That's going to kill you, because now your rotation is wearing thin. And that's when Schroeder becomes a big asset, because he doesn't settle for that 3. He takes it to the basket. But, if you're asking me who's going to win the championship, Los Angeles Lakers. Who are the best team in the league? The Los Angeles Lakers. Who's going to make it to the Western Conference Finals? Los Angeles Lakers. And they're going to have finally something that we can brag over the Celtics. 18 championships, and I don't care if we got some out of Minnesota from the lakes up there, lands of lakes up there. We still won championships up there. Mike brought a championship up there, and he with the Lakers got that L on his chest, and they were counted as the Minneapolis Lakers. They're the Lakers, and we will win the championship. And finally, we'll have Boston looking at our backside, and we're not looking at theirs all the time.